morning, everybody. Swamp Fox news, cooks, and reviews coming at you. Like, subscribe, and share. Northern Corruption Monitor, how you doing? Hope everybody's doing well. Harry Sponsell, Patricia, good morning. Glad to see y'all here. It's part 2 of my Sauerbraten recipe cook. Let's see, getting about 400 degrees. Getting ready to do part 2. Country boy, how you doing this morning? Thank y'all for being here. I'm going to say hi to a couple of y'all, and then I'm going to get started. I appreciate everyone being here. It's going to be a little wobbly. I still ain't got my real good tripod set up yet. I got a homemade tripod. Will not comply. Sewer dog. Can't stay. Last load. Much love and respect. I hear you, brother. Get that laundry done. Sewer dog be moving soon, y'all. Coming to Georgia next week. So that's awesome. Be able to see him more. Get more stuff done. So, all right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and move forward. And I got a few of you here. To the ones who wanted to know this recipe. The last load of the house. I'm so dumb. I don't know what I'm thinking. That's so funny. I thought you was doing laundry. Yeah, I got you. I got you, Sewer. Well, you go ahead and do that, brother. You can always rewatch this video later. And, of course, I could teach y'all how to make this anytime. So the ones who want to stick around and see part 2 of this cook, then hang out. I'm going to get started. Alright, so now y'all get to see. Let me move some stuff back a little bit. Boy, well now. Alright, I'm going to get my stove hooked up this week, y'all. Alright, this is the marinade that the roast has been cooking in. Y'all see it's all purple, and that's from the wine. The onions and everything just soaked up. All that. First thing I'm going to do is get the roast out. So I can get it set to the side. I'm going to wash my hands again. Although I've already washed my hands, I'm going to handle this meat and wash it one more time. Hygiene is always the best in any situation, but especially when you're cooking. I'm going to wash up your arms a little bit too. Cross-contamination, you don't want to do any kind of cross-contamination. You make yourself sick or your family sick. Or friends. Alright. Drew, how you doing? And 1. Glad to see y'all here. Serena English. This is part 2 of my Sauerbraten cook, y'all. It's authentic. It's not my recipe. It's an authentic German recipe. It's been out way before I was even born. Alright, so anyway, let me get back to this. Got my hands washed all good. I'm going to show y'all this roast, y'all. Go ahead and get it out of here. Alright, look at that. See how purple and all it looks? That's because it soaked up all that red wine. Alright, so I'm going to set this to the side. Then I'm going to paper towel it dry in a second. Alright, set that to the side. Let me move this roast. Now we're going to strain off the vegetables. We're going to keep everything. Now don't throw it away yet. Okay. So I use, because I'm straining off the vegetables, I'm going to use this because I want to keep the marinade. That's what we're going to cook it in. Stuff out here. Sorry, guys. I can imagine how that's sounding on y'all's. Sorry. Alright. Push down a little bit, get as much of that gravy out. Or marinade, I mean. While that's draining off, I'm just going to set it in this one here. Put this to the side. Let me cover this. Put it to the side. Later. Where's the top? Oh, I see it. Alright, so I got my temperature about 410 on my pot right here. Let me move this out the way. Let it keep draining. Give me a second to cover this. Cover this dude. I mean this this right here. Alright, now give me another plate. Dry this roast real good. You're gonna brown. Now the next thing we're gonna do is brown it, y'all. So you're gonna dry it real good. Some paper towels. Pan good and hot. That's at about 420, about 425 right now. So I'm going to go ahead and take that off. Don't just pick it up because it's metal. It will burn you. You see, I had number one, I'm a ninja, so I can't get hurt. Joking. Number two, I had that napkin. So, all right. Blind as a bat, y'all. Sorry, y'all, I'm looking for something. Alright, cool. Alright, you're going to use about 1 tablespoon of some olive oil. Starting to smoke a little bit. Alright, I'm going to brown this. I'm going to brown it. It's all dry. I'm going to brown it real good. You want that flavor. Browning it adds flavor. big pan, I'm gonna add a little bit more oil. Almost a second tablespoon, about a tablespoon and a half. Now, normally after I do this, what I did this for to save some time. Normally after you do this, oh yeah, that's looking good. Normally after you do this, then you cook some bacon, about 6 pieces of bacon in here, and let that grease, the bacon grease mix with this, and then you'll pour in the vegetables and mix it all up, and then pour the juice back in there, and then cook it all, and then put it back in the pot and cook it. And then you're going to strain it off one more time. Right. On the other side, see that brown? See how good that browning is? That's just flavor, man. You don't want to burn it, but see how dark and nice and brown that is? So it's not burnt, it's seared a little bit. You want to do that all sides. Get all that juice. See, I already got my bacon grease right here. I already cooked up my bacon. Plus, I'm going to get all the mix out that other pan that I fried that bacon in. Yeah, all right, see, good sear. I know I'm touching this with my hands, y'all, but I wash my hands real good. Maybe one second sear the other edges. I'm even going to put a sear on that fat side. The fat's where the flavor's at. Fat's where the flavor's at, y'all. Thank you, Mama Gnome. I appreciate it. Can't imagine how to. Oh man, you don't even know. I'm starving too. I haven't ate breakfast yet or lunch. I've just been kind of cleaning up the house, and I'm getting ready to go to my mom's grave. So I wanted to do this part. I'm gonna have to come back for part 3. This is just the searing off part and the draining of the vegetables and showing y'all what to do next. Okay. Look at that, good sear. Catch that little corner right there. Yeah, it smells so good, and it's got a funny, not a funny smell, like a bad smell, but a good type of smell because all that wine and all that wine and rosemary and thyme and garlic and onions and carrots and all the other ingredients, the vinegar, everything's just smelling. The aroma's so good. Rosemary, everything's just popping. The juniper berries, you can just smell it. The aroma's just going good. One reason I got the fan going so it don't, it's a hot fan. I don't want to smoke up the house too bad. Sear off that fat side a little bit. Then after I'm done with that, I'm going to take the pan, set it to the side, and because I did it a little bit out of order, next I would fry off the bacon, which would then leave all this good stuff in there that I would cook, it with. But I'm going to take this scrapings and put it in that pot, that pan. So it's going to work out. But what you'd want to do is after you get done searing this off in this pan, then you'd want to put your bacon in there and cook you about 5-6 pieces of bacon. And that way you get the grease from the bacon, but you also get the remnants of the bacon pieces. I still got to get the rest of my cookware. All that's good flavor. All that stuff right there, that's some good flavor. Alright. Stir off that side a little bit. I'll take this and set it to the side for right now. Go ahead and add this stuff in here. Mix that around pretty good with that vegetable oil, and then you want to add a couple tablespoons of your bacon grease. 1, 2. Man, that's a big pan. I'm gonna add a little bit more. It's bacon grease, man. You can't go wrong with bacon grease. That will warm up a second. Now we'll take our strained vegetables. We'll put them in there for a few minutes. You're going to strain these vegetables off. You're not going to eat all this stuff. This is just for flavoring that through your cook, guys. Okay? So just know that. Let this cook for a few seconds. I'm going to take a little bit of flour just for thickening up a little bit. Let that cook for a second. Man, that stuff smells good. Now this is what really smells good. Woo. You don't even know. Make your tongue slap your face. Alright, I'm going to add a little bit of flour, guys. About a couple teaspoons. If you want to cook this in good, stir it in good to make sure it don't lump up, y'all, because it will, and then it'll be out. You don't want that. that in real good. All that bacon fat. A little more bacon fat. See that white right there, what I'm telling you about? Get that out of there. Yep. You don't want that to cook. Any white flour, you can see like that, mix it up good. There you go. Alright, I'm gonna let that cook for a minute, guys. Bear with me. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and put in the marinade. Put the marinade back in. Again, you're going to strain all this off because this marinade you're using for the gravy mix too. So you're going to strain all that back off. Alright, here's the marinade. Okay. And you're going to bring that to a boil. Let that boil for a few minutes. Bringing out some more of the flavor of the rosemary, the thyme, the bay leaves, cracked black peppercorn, the juniper berries. I'll give y'all, anybody who wants this recipe, I'll give y'all a full rundown if y'all, so y'all don't have to go back and listen to everything. Hot Desert, my brother. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Today I'm doing my cooking show. This is part 2 of authentic German Sauerbraten. We're going to let this come to a boil, guys. While we're doing that, I'm going to be preparing some other things for the next step. Okay. Alright, so a part of the gravy, believe it or not, the ginger is coming, flavor is coming from ginger snap cookies. You need about 3 ounces. Now I have a scale, so I'll weigh out 3 ounces and tell y'all, this is a 16-ounce bag. I'll weigh out 3 ounces and tell y'all how many cookies that's going to take to make the 3 ounces. Drop the cookie, my dog got it. All right, so 3 ounces looks like it's going to be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 14 of this size ginger snap cookies, okay? Now you're going to put them in a Ziploc bag and break them down. Put them in a Ziploc bag. And you want to break them down with your hand first. You know, just kind of break them up. Then you want to smash them with something. I usually use the back of a metal spoon. Works pretty good. I use back of a metal spoon on my cutting board. You just want to smash them up. Use the back of the spoon, not the side. You'll cut holes in the bag. This marinade, this sour marinade with this sweet ginger flavor, this dish is unbelievably good, y'all. And you know, you eat it like a roast. You eat it like a roast, and then or you just slice it up and make it for sandwiches. Oh man, it's beautiful. It's so good. So good. So Sewer Dog's moving to Georgia, y'all. That's good news. He'll be here. He's leaving out Wednesday. Him, his wife, and son. They're moving to Georgia, in Cartersville, Georgia. So he'll be closer, about 5 hours away from me. So I'll get to see him more often. And that'd be a good thing. Now, once I buy my piece of land, I'm buying a big enough piece. He wants to move to South Carolina and put a home on it, he can do that too. Anyway, see how I got it broke down? Okay. Broke down in like little, like graham cracker crust type deal. Starting to boil. These pans take a long time. I can't wait to get this stove hooked up. I'm working on them logs this week. When I get them logs done, I'll be able to focus on some of my stuff. I mean, not that I have to go over there every day. I mean, but he's been waiting so long for me. You know, it ain't like he's giving me a hard time. I don't want to make it sound like that. He's been so great about it. I love Bill. I love this whole family. They're awesome. Continue to let that keep cooking until it starts to boil. Now, if y'all want to, y'all can add raisins to this. Some people do, some people don't. I don't really. I do sometimes. It just depends on who I'm cooking it for. I'm cooking for myself, so I'm not gonna add them. But honey, I put 1 tablespoon of honey in it. I'm about to put that in just a minute once it starts boiling. What? Alright, boss. You hear my dog down there fussing at me. She's so funny. Oh, there's my honey right there. Did you know honey is a natural antibiotic? Did y'all know that? Honey's good for you. I'm going to put a tablespoon of honey in. But that's when it starts boiling. It ain't boiling yet. So I'm just going to set that there to the side until it starts boiling. Yeah, but you already, I mean, you don't have to, but...
How are you? You really want to know? It feels like knives are...
I'm sorry, y'all. If you drink honey every day, it's good for you. If you took a tablespoon of honey every day, it's good for you. It's a natural antibiotic. You hear people eating bee pollen every day and stuff like that, and they hardly ever get sick, or once they start taking honey, it helps them start getting better. It's a fact, y'all. Yeah, now them leaves, the rosemary and the bay leaves and everything's, man, you can smell it so good. The thyme, everything's cooking in. So as soon as it starts to get to a boil, then I'll add the honey and the ginger, and then I will put it in the crock pot, and I'll put the roast in the crock pot right now. Alright, so put the roast in the crock pot. And as soon as this starts boiling good, and I get the honey and the ginger mixed in, I'll put it back in the crock pot, and then I'll cook it. Now, here's the thing about this. It depends on what you're going to cook this in, how much time you're going to need. You know, if you're using a Dutch oven, it's usually about 2.5 hours on like a simmer. But you just got to check it, because what happens is the longer you let the beef marinate, the faster it's going to cook. Because it's going to be broke, you know, the meat's going to be broke down more due to the marinade. But also due to where you're living and what you're cooking in. So I suggest at about 2 hours, hour and 45 minutes to 2 hours, you just start looking at it. If you're putting it in a crock pot, put it on high and let it cook on high, and just start checking it every, you know, a couple hours. And if it's tender enough for you, then go ahead and pull it out. And but don't eat the gravy and all yet. You got to come back for part 3. But I'm just telling you on the cook. Once you pull it out, once you pull the roast out, take the roast out and set it aside. Then you're going to strain the gravy again. You're going to get you a big pot like I did, or a Tupperware dish or something like that, and put it underneath your strainer and dump the vegetables and all back in it. Set the roast to the side, dump all this stuff back in it, okay? And let all that gravy drain out into that pot. Then you're going to take that, and then you're going to add, you know, a little bit of sugar or a little bit of salt, whatever, because, you know, the sweet and sour sauce, believe it or not, is basically what you're making. And it's sweet or sour, whichever one you'd add. A little bit more salt, a little bit more sugar, a little bit more honey, or whatever you want to add to it. You know, you flavor it then. And once you get that flavor down, well, there you go. But I'll show y'all how to do that on part 3. It's getting there, guys. And don't forget to smash that like button. Again, once this starts to boil, we're going to add the ginger snap cookies, crushed ginger snaps, and we're going to add the honey. We're going to mix it up, and then we're going to dunk this in with the roast, and we're going to cook it off. We're going to cook it probably a minimum of about 2 hours, or maybe even longer, depending on what you're cooking it in. If you're using a slow cooker on low, it'll take about 4 hours. But you just check the meat after a couple hours and see how it is, see if it's tender enough, if it's ready for you to eat. Usually for me, it's at about two and a half hours. But again, I've been cooking this for years. I know the recipe, so y'all just have to adjust accordingly and just keep checking until until it's the tenderness you want. It may not, after a couple hours, it may still be not tender enough for you, and you think, oh, I need to cook it some more. Go ahead, it ain't hurting it. Just let it cook some more. So yeah, you're not going to eat the vegetables. That's why I can leave these whole sticks of rosemary and stuff in here, because you're going to strain that off, and you're just going to be using the gravy. And then again, once you strain this off, the last stuff that leaks through and that's in the pot, that's what you're going to use as your gravy, and it's really good. Don't try to make a brown gravy with this. It ain't going to work. Some people say, oh, well, I want to try to make a brown gravy with it. It ain't going to work, because it's marinated in the pickling juice that's making it sour. So this is the sweet part. It's like a sweet and sour dish, y'all. Sort of. A friend of mine's mom, she's passed away, but she taught me how to make this, or gave me the recipe. She didn't show me. She just gave me the recipe and told me what to do. Her name was Mrs. Tinsley. Was a friend of mine, Mom, Steve's mom. Old Steve. His mom was a really good woman. His dad was, his mom and dad were good people. They really was. They both passed now. God rest their soul. Yeah, it's starting to boil now. A little bit, but there it goes. Alright, so let's go ahead and add the rest of the stuff in here. Alright, here goes my honey. Now that I'm done with this for right now, I'll go ahead and put it in the hot water, make sure I get all that honey out of there. And slowly dump in the cookies, okay? Slowly dump in the cookies. You don't want to dump them in too fast all at once. You want to mix them in and make sure that they mix down good. Put some in and mix it down. Heat this up a little bit more. You want it good and fine, y'all. I had a few good now. Yeah, it smells so good. Man, you can start smelling that ginger right when you start putting it in there. Rag so I don't burn my hands. Don't get to laugh at me jumping around like crazy. You will burn my hands. You will burn my hands. Got this right here on that roast. This is what you're going to end up with, guys. And gals, hold on a minute. Let me get that smoothed out. All right. All right. So now, let me move this out the way. So now we got this. Okay. I'm going to stick it in my crock pot, which is already hot over here. It's got it on high. Got it over there in my crock pot. Right there. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and let that cook. I'm going to put my glasses on so I can chat with you guys for a minute. Alright. Give me a second. Okay. Alright. So now I'm just going to let this cook for a couple hours. Right now it is about 3:25 my time. So I'm going to go ahead and head out. I'm going to go to my mom's grave and do what I do there. I'll backtrack and then I'll come live again to do part 3. I'm sorry. This is part 2. I'll go live again to do part 3. And that'll be, straining it off. Because again, just so you'll know, once this is done cooking and I check it and the roast is fine like I want it, you see it's in there. All right, you want to make sure that your roast is submerged too totally. If it's not totally submerged, you don't. A lot of people just add wine or the red wine vinegar to bring it up and level. Don't do that because you ain't cooking off the alcohol. Okay, unless you cook the alcohol off. If you remember to do that, cook the alcohol off for about 10 minutes and then you can raise the pot by using that. But what I normally like to do is use beef stock. If I need to add a little bit more water to my cook just to bring it up over the top of the roast, then I'll add beef stock and not try to add any of the other ingredients to it. But once you add the beef stock, then you still need to check the flavoring at the end of the gravy to make sure that it's the right taste for you. Again, you might want to add more honey, you might want to add sugar, you might want to add a little bit more salt depending on the flavor to you, because salt brings out the flavor of everything. So I got a big mess to clean up, as y'all see. So I'm gonna get to that. I like keeping a good clean workstation and sanitary. So I'm gonna get to that after I get that and head out to my mom's grave. I will be back in a couple hours. I'll go live one last time and I'll show y'all the finished product. All right. I hope y'all have a great day. I thank y'all all for being here. I love you all. If you have any strife with anybody in your family or friends, please squash it right now. Imagine how bad you would feel if something happened to them today and you didn't get that chance to say how sorry you was. If you got an elderly person in your life that you love and you just don't get to spend a whole lot of time with for whatever reason, how about try to make some extra time this week? Lee, how you doing, buddy? Thanks for being here. Please make extra time for the elderly people in your life this week, because you never know when something can happen to them. When God's ready to call us home, He's going to do it, and this is a surprise to a lot of us at sometimes when we go. So make sure that you reach out to everyone in your family that you love, and that they know that you love them, and any kind of strife. I hope y'all have a great day. I'll see y'all later this evening. God bless everyone.